ये हम बिल्कुल यकीन से कहते हैं कि इंशाल्लाह पहुंच जाएंगे। और दूसरी मजे की बात यह है कि फलस्तीन में 2 दफा जो हमने दौरा किया और वहां पे भाई बहनों से जो हम मुलाकात करते थे, हम सभी की अमानत दी हुई थी पैसे बांटने के लिए। तो वो ये बड़ी खुशी की बात है, मैं बताऊं आपको कि हम इंडिया पाकिस्तान जाते हैं ना, वहां पैसे निकालते हैं जेब में से 100-200 निकाले, वो नोट बांटने के लिए हम निकालते हैं, वो गिनने से पहले हमारे हाथ में से चले जाते हैं। लेकिन ये फलस्तीन के जो हमारे भाई बहन है, उनकी एक ईमान इतना पुख्ता, इतना पक्का है कि हम हजारों पाउंड लेके खेमों में घूम रहे थे बांटने के लिए। वो भाई बहन हमसे मिलते हैं, दुआ सलाम करते हैं, हाथ ऐसे खड़े रहते हैं या जेब में रखते हैं। हम उसका हाथ पकड़ के उनके हाथ में इमदाद देते तब लेते हैं। उनका ईमान देखो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। दूसरी एक मजे की बात बताऊं कि एक छोटी सी बच्ची, ये बच्ची की उम्र की इतनी थी, वो हम मेन बोलते हैं ना 40 ना, वो बोरिया बेच रही थी स्ट्रीट के अंदर। हम जा रहे थे तो वैसे हमें क्या करना था, लेकिन ले लिया। चलो उसको ऐसा लगे कि मैंने कुछ बेचा है, तो दोस्त ने उसको 5 शेकल दिए, तो 1 शेकल की एक बोरी थी, तो लेके हम चलते पड़े। तो वो बच्ची खड़ी होके बोलता है ये दूसरी 4 ले जाओ और नहीं लेनी है तो दूसरा आपका चेंज वापस ले जाओ। ईमान देखो बच्चों का,
खुददार है और
खुददार है, बड़े ईमानदार है। हमने एक फकीर नहीं देखा वहाँ पे। इतने हालात है ऐसे, इतने खराब हालात है, लेकिन हमने एक फकीर भी वहाँ नहीं देखा कि कोई हाथ फैलाने।
यहीं पर हमें एक और साहब भी मिले, वो अंग्रेज हैं और पहले भी जा चुके हैं, इसी साल गाजा में जा चुके हैं। वो गाजा क्यों जा रहे हैं, उनका तो ना इंसानियत के नाते के अलावा कोई और ताल्लुक मिलता है। वो बरतानिया के एक दूर दराज के इलाके से उनका ताल्लुक है, जिसके बारे में वो कह रहे थे कि उसका साइज और गाजा का साइज एक ही जितना है। एक और दिलचस्प बात कह रहे थे कि वो भी 1948 में पैदा हुए, जब नाम नहाद इसराइली रियासत की बुनियाद रखी गई। तो वो कह रहे थे कि शायद उस जुर्म का वो हिस्सा हैं जो उनकी पैदाइश के साथ जुड़ गया। बहरहाल काफी दिलचस्प शख्सियत है और उनके सफर की दास्तान जो पिछले उन्होंने किए वो भी वो बयान कर रहे हैं और इस सफर के बारे में अपने खदशात का इजहार भी कर रहे हैं।
My name is Peter Venner. I come from the Isle of Wight, a small island at the bottom of England, and it's exactly the same size as Gaza. It's within an acre. It's the same size.
You've been to Gaza before, you were telling somebody, I overheard you.
Yes, I was in Gaza at the turn of this year, so I was in Gaza by late January this year, and we spent just 2 days there in all. We'd hoped to spend a bit longer, but we had to be hurried out.
So this was when you were traveling via Egypt?
Yes, we came in via the Rafah crossing. It's the only way that you can get into Gaza, other than by sea, which is what we're trying this time. We had to be shipped out in a hurry. We had to be not shipped out. We had to be taken out in a hurry because international pressure required the closing of the border for probably 6 months. And we just had a very brief window of opportunity to leave Gaza.
Which organization do you work for?
We have an organization on the Isle of Wight. It's simply a Friends of Palestine organization. So I'm not a member of any particular organization.
What's so special about Palestine? You know, you have got Kashmir, Chechnya, you've got, something happening in Africa, there's genocide, there's famine.
Events in the Middle East plainly revolve around Israel. I was born in the same year that Israel, the modern state of Israel, was established. And to tell the truth, I feel I carry a share of the burden of blame for that occurrence. It's not to blame the nation itself. It's simply to say that when you intrude a nation into somebody else's territory, you're setting up a recipe for disaster. And I think what we have now in the Middle East, in Israel, is that little bit of yang in the yin of the Eastern Hemisphere, which is capable of being used as a fulcrum to turn world events around. And an indiscriminate or thoughtless movement of the lever against that fulcrum could cause a disaster for the whole world. Already we have a terrible, inhuman condition in the whole of Palestine, most particularly, of course, in Gaza.
You will be boarding a ship that is being organized by IHH.
Yes.
Which obviously has a particular stance on Palestine. It has
Yes.
a particular stance on Israel. It doesn't even recognize Israel to be a state,
Yes.
frankly. And it has a very strong element of religion built into what it believes is
Yes.
boarding that ship, would you be the odd man out, or would you be part of the sort of global spectrum of views on Palestine? What would you be?
Well, now, I've already been in one convoy, and I have had many friends from the world of Islam before. I make friends easily, and I've always found friends wherever I've gone. I was in a group of 20 vehicles, and I think there were 2 of us who were not from the world of Islam, and I was immediately put under the most gentle and beguiling pressure to convert to Islam. I did say I wouldn't do it. I warned them that they would have a heck of a job to persuade me. I'm what you would call an agnostic by conviction, by upbringing. And although if I was to take on a religion, I would take on Islam, I think it's too late in my life to do that now. The events we're currently engaged in, that's to say, trying to raise awareness and then to create a major change, a colossal change, starting in the Middle East, but something that could effectively save the world. I don't think that Islam in itself has to answer the questions that have been raised in the Middle East. These are questions that were set up principally in the late 19th century, I would say, and into the early 20th century. And the chapter of disasters that have happened ever since have been created from the Western Hemisphere and imposed on the East. The solution doesn't lie with Islam. The solution lies with the unpicking of all the damage that's been done so far, and perhaps I'm placed to help a little bit with that. If I can, that's what I want to do.
What are the prospects of this flotilla being stopped? You being the veteran.
I would be amazed if it wasn't stopped. I think it's absolutely inevitable. We don't go in order to create a conflict of any kind, but we are in the midst of a conflict even now, so everything is being done, everything has been done diplomatically to prevent us going, if at all possible. It hasn't worked. There'll be all sorts of interventions to try and hold us up. I imagine there'll be colossal delays along the way. So I've packed for 3 months, and I gather the boats has got enough water on board to last that long. I used to do a lot of rowing, and I've pointed out that I'd be very happy if they put me over the side with a boat, and I'd happily row a party of 10 or so ashore.
Do not forget to take me along with you, because
yes.
I don't know how to row.
Well, if you're on board...
I barely swim.
Yes.
ब्राइटर पेंट हर दीवार से छल के प्यार
कोलगेट देख कीड़ा लगने से दुगनी हिफाजत डेंटिस्ट का तजवीज करदा नंबर 1 ब्रांड
रंगों को जब जुबान मिलती है बिखर जाते हैं हर सू